Hey guys, this is IntroducingEmy for Redline Tuesday, and this one was sent to us by, I was originally not going to say the name because I wasn't sure if they wanted that or not, but since it's written right there, their name is Miles Barksdale or MJ Barksdale, so credit where credit is due. The first thing I'm going to do is make the canvas a little bigger. Also, I'm still kind of getting over a sore throat, so I apologize if I'm clearing my throat a lot during this video. I think I sound better though. The kind of nice thing is I used to get sick a lot when I was a kid, and now like when I get sick I only get a sore throat. Also, my dog has a bone right now, so I apologize if you can hear that in the background. So there's a few things I want to really go over. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a general correction on the anatomy, and then I'm going to go over these handcuffs and or shackles and stripes on the clothing, like an easier way to draw stripes. So I always like to start with the neck because I feel like that is where the whole piece will be anchored. There is a very loud crow outside. So one thing that's interesting here is there's like this really obvious bend, so I'm assuming that's what you were going for. Okay, I have to make the canvas bigger. I want to make sure that I get the torso all in proportion. Oops, not black. Yeah, what color is this now? Blue. I'm trying to get a little quicker at doing these red lines. They do tend to drag a little bit, but I don't like to speed up the drawing process because I'm assuming that yins want to know like what I'm doing. And I'm assuming that if I sped everything up, you wouldn't know what I was doing. I'm sorry I keep making this lighter, but when I'm making such big anatomy corrections and changes, I get a little distracted. I'm actually a little worried that I get nervous because I don't want to change it too much, you know, like, but I want to be of some help. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to draw the head on its own layer and then position it. So the head kind of reminds me, like especially how low the eyes are and everything. This has a smackling feel. Is that a word? Smackling. Of anime proportions and anatomy. Which is fine. It just needs to be smooshed around a little bit. See, I should probably be sitting more here. Let's see. Look how tiny the ear is. It's kind of interesting how you do have like sort of correct proportions on the face, but they're kind of just moved around. I don't know, it's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna go over the eyes on their own layer. I want to like trace everything so that it's kind of in the same style, and then I'll just like move parts around, I guess, to try to like show where they need to be. So, yeah, these are definitely like kind of an anime eye. It's funny, my style, everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, but like a lot of people who see my style think it's very anime, but I personally don't think it's like anime at all. In fact, I think that's like one of the things I kind of struggle with a little bit is the anime style. You know who this kind of reminds me of? Luffy, a little bit. Also, I apologize if this is like a character I should know. I've done a few of those now, I think, where it's been like characters from TV shows that I just don't watch or I'm not familiar with or whatever. But yeah, these eyes definitely remind me of Luffy from One Piece. In fact, let me show you. Let me get a copyright strike. Here's my art book collection. I got the One Piece song in my head now. Let's show Color Walk. Not exactly. Let's try Zoro. Maybe Zoro's a little more. It's kind of in that feel, if you can barely see that. I don't have any bigger pictures of him, like, off my cuff, but that one's a little bigger. Yeah, it's kind of got that, where he just uses, like, very horizontal faces. In fact, I wonder if that's who... I'm going to try to do a little bit of a One Piece style now, because I think that's kind of... There's some emulation, I think, going on here. I'm not sure, though. In fact, if I managed to guess that this was a One Piece character... See, I know One Piece, but I'm not, like, super familiar with it. So if I managed to guess that, I'm super proud of myself right now. I'm like, yeah, I knew something. I knew a show that everybody else knows. I have two really good friends, and they love One Piece. And I hope I'm making them proud. Okay, so this character's got a really cool nose, too. So let's go over that. Now the nose is distinctly not anime. So guess what? I'm distinctly not drawing it anime. I shouldn't say that. Like, I shouldn't be like, oh, there's rules for anime and this is what it looks like. But there is, like, I believe there is a consensus of a general style that comes with anime and all that. So y'all can shut up. Let me just... This is how I lighten lines. I just scribble over top of them so that they look more dashed. And I actually got that center line kind of off anyway, so let's just get rid of it. Bye! So, as always, I think I mentioned this in another video as well, that one thing I see a lot with people who are trying to emulate like an anime style is they're just seeing the lines that are there and not the lines that aren't there, if that makes any sense. It's kind of like jazz, you know? So like when I see people try to emulate anime, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll kind of do like an up lid and then like a down lid and an eyebrow and that other line, you know, and then something like that. And what they're missing is these lines are all connected. I actually managed to draw that kind of nice. And I was trying to draw it kind of bad. And then most anime artists just sort of, I'm not sure why, I maybe just try to make things look more delicate. They tend to like erase away a lot of the connective tissue of their art, so to speak, which is fine. You don't need that. I think I'm gonna make this nose come down here. Okay, so now we need to define the side of the head. Also, I kind of got a comment. I don't know if they were trying to be rude or not. It was like a note actually on YouTube, but they were kind of saying that people are just sending these in so that I'll like do a fake commission for them, so to speak. Like I'll just do it, you know, like I'll go over their art and stuff for free. Technically it's not for free because I do get paid by YouTube to do this stuff. So, and I don't care. If I'm doing it for free, I'm doing it for free. I like yins. To be honest, it's good exercise. Oh my gosh, how have I managed to get this so messed up looking? Okay, so speaking of which, I gotta get back to a few people who are looking for title cards for their YouTube videos. I really enjoy contributing to the Let's Play community on YouTube because they give me like hours and hours of entertainment while I draw. It's part of the reason I actually haven't been streaming as much in the last like year and a half, 2 years, is I have all these YouTube videos to watch. I'm like, no, Vintage Beef has new episodes out today. I can't. I gotta watch them. Also, I wish that there was like a Twitch TV for artists. I'm kind of familiar with Justin TV, but it doesn't really seem much different than like say live stream. But I just love like how Twitch TV has like along the side they like list like what games the performer, so to speak, is doing, the gamer. I guess I should use the correct terminology. I don't know. I just really think that's cool. Like it'd be fun if like there was something like that for artists and you could like list like, oh, today I'm doing my webcomic, or, you know, I'm doing fan art for whatever. I don't know. I just think it would be very cool for like artists to have that kind of same thing. But I get the impression I'm one of a very few artists that does either YouTube or like live streaming. I shouldn't say that. I know a lot of people do live streaming. It's just that it's not like the majority. You know what I mean? Like everybody's got a DeviantArt account, but not everybody streams. You know what I mean? Which is fine. I personally like working like this because I feel like it puts pressure on me to perform. And it's so easy, especially when you're self-employed, to just be like, nah, I'm not doing shit today. I'm playing Animal Crossing all day long. Wow, I've never done that. I've done that. Excuse me. Okay, we gotta stay on the ball here a little bit. I'm starting to get into my fluff zone where I'm just like, wee, let's fluff the drawing forever. I am the mayor of Fluffsville. I've kind of given you like a stereotypical Emmy nose. That's like one of my new favorite ways to draw noses. Give me the facial hair. Man, facial hair on guys like really weirds me out. My husband, his facial hair like goes in swirls, like on the side of his face. Not like pubes, but like the grow pattern is like it's weird, dude. It's fucking disgusting. Okay, I'm sorry. Alright, let's put this head into position. So I kind of gave him like a beefy neck, because he has kind of a beefy neck in the original drawing. But it does need to be a little higher. Maybe his head needs to be like a smidge bigger. Maybe the back of the head. Something seems a little off here. He has kind of a, what I always jokingly say, a thumb head. It's like when you see it in like really muscly people, like, you know, the bro do you even lift folks, they tend to have like really pronounced muscles around their head. And so there's not like a real distinction between their neck to their head. That looks a little better. Okay. So now I will do the arms. I will try to do the hands. I cannot promise magic this morning. There's still something off about the head to the body, and I'm not happy. I don't know. I'll come back to it. Maybe he needs like a more pronounced brow ridge, and that might help. By the way, I'm sorry if the flickering like makes anybody nauseous. Let's put a different color down. Let's do lighten. Let's do screen. Also, I normally don't work quite as layered as this. It's mostly because it's not my art, so it's a little bit of a puzzle, and I like to have multiple layers to allow for some wiggle room, so to speak. So I need more canvas room. More! Oops. My life is just one big more canvas room, please. Okay. So let's see here. So there's no pinch right there, which is where his arm connects. This is actually should be a little straighter. And this should be more rippling and bulged. I have to admit, I'm not the best at drawing like really muscled guys. I'm still sort of learning it. I just don't do it that often. Because I'm pretty cool like that. Same deal over here. To get the wrist there, I feel like you kind of ran out of space because the edge of the canvas used to be right there, so you were just like, and kind of stuck his arm in. So I'm kind of deciding which to sacrifice, this silhouette here of his arm or to move his wrist. Well, since I am going to draw him in handcuffs, let's keep the hands where they are. We'll just make do. So you can't see it, but basically his other arm would be like right there. Okay, so I'm going to erase it. Say goodbye. Okay. Like I said, I'm not promising magic on the hands this morning. One thing I will say is that the, I'm not sure if you can see this. So this first digit here is not long enough. So, actually, weirdly enough, it's long enough on the pinky. The pinky looks okay. No, the pinky does need to be moved over, like, to like right here. But, but the rest of the digits need a lengthening. Like I said, no real magic on the hands today. I'm just a little under the weather, so fast hand magic is not happening. I'm actually working on redoing a page in my comic right now, and this one character's hands are probably making me sicker. It's funny too because his hands are kind of like in the neutral position where it's just like the the thumb and then the 5 fingers are out like that. That actually looks better than what I've drawn on the redo page. Okie dokie. So I'm seeing 1, 2, 3 digits. So he's got his fist balled, I guess, a little bit. It's kind of an odd pose, but I'm not too worried about it. Just not feeling good, okay? Oh, I'm not happy with this hand in particular, but I'm not with it enough. I apologize for that bad hand. Okie dokie. What was I doing? I guess we're moving on to something else here, though. This hand. This hand. Okie dokie. So I'm going to go through and dot my lines, aka scribble over top of them. So now we're going to do the handcuffs. I actually at first thought they were shackles because the difference between handcuffs and shackles generally is that shackles have like a wider cuff and the chain is much, much longer. Whereas handcuffs are like a temporary measure from the police to restrain you. So hopefully you are not in handcuffs through your entire jail stay. But these handcuffs are too big, like he could just slip them off over his wrists. And also the chain, I'm assuming, is connected here and it's too long. So so I guess what we're going to do is draw a handcuff. Without getting a reference, I'm just going to... I've drawn handcuffs in the past before. Girl, don't even ask me why. Okay. This is really rough. But there's a hinge mechanism here, and then the locking part is in this little trapezoidal shaped part, and then there's like a little doink there that sticks out. Oh man, these are bad handcuffs. Okay. I've actually heard that you can break out of handcuffs easily, like if you know what you're doing, but I don't know if that's true or not. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to leave this here. We're going to duplicate our layer. So now we got two. Oop. And we are going to transform perspective. Yeah, about that much. Maybe I shouldn't have done it like that. One second. 'Cause the chain's attached to this. So. And we're going to have the chain going like this way, like he's going to try to break those cuffs. So you want to make sure this line and this line touch the line of your wrist that you've drawn. And then we're going to duplicate this one last time. Now this is like what I would be doing for a sketch, so it's super, super rough. And I will try to clean it up as best that I can. Also, I apologize to any officers of the law or bondage enthusiasts if these are like the weirdest looking cuffs you've ever seen. I apologize. Oh my god, these look really bad. I'm sorry. I am so sorry right now. I'm actually going to try to wing this because I'm just not liking these cuffs very much, but hopefully you kind of get the idea. Oh man. Okay. So this is still like stretching it a little bit so far as how long the chain can be, but that's okay. Where are my brush options? There we go. So this is a free brush set made by Lee is Lee. So L-E-E is L-E-E. But I don't remember where I got them. But that's the guy who made them. So if you want this, that's how you get it. Okay, I apparently did that on the wrong layer. I'm not feeling good. I'm sorry. I think it should also be a smidge bigger. Oh man, my dog is out cold. She was working on a bone all morning and now she's just plain tuckered. So that's kind of bad Tron handcuffs that I'm like really ashamed of right now, but gives you an idea. Also, this is just a sketch, so get over it. Okay. So the last thing I wanted to address was the clothing, mostly because there's an easier way to draw stripes than manually going in, which you can. Like if you're careful, you can just sort of contour it. But I wanted to show you another way you can do it as kind of a shortcut, and then you can sort of clean it up. So anyway, let me draw clothing. So I already kind of did here. This wrinkle is not exactly part of human anatomy. Okay, so that's, now that I'm looking at it, this needs to be not so pronounced. Okay, so there's basically where his clothing outline would be. It's not the most fantastical, but that's okay. So like I was saying, so for stripes on the clothing, you could just carefully contour across, but not everybody has a steady enough hand to do it. So one way that you can kind of do it, and when I say kinda, I mean you're gonna have to kind of, there's that word again, kinda, you're going to have to fix it a little bit. Like you're gonna have to come in and clean it up. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get out your calligraphic brushes, which are, they should come default with Photoshop. Let me just make sure. Yep. I think you can see where I'm going with this. And what we're going to do, we're going to go to brush tip shape in your brush preset window. And this is in I know it goes as far back as CS3 that you can do this. I think all the CSs, all the Creative Suite Photoshops, you can do this. Anyway, so we're going to change this to match the angle. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay, and then we're going to make it a little smaller. So right there, we're going to have to fix this a little bit. what I'm doing is I'm looking for any other place in the body that I can get away with the same angle of brush. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of lag because of recording. Okay, so that's that. And actually I can use this to just kind of go in there and put that on multiply so you can see underneath. Okay, why is my brush window not? 1 second, I must have accidentally taken it out of the toolbar. There, okay. So we're going to turn it more. Now for some of you might be like, damn, this is more tedious than just doing it by hand. Well, if that's the case, just do it by hand then. Because like I said, some people, these angles and stuff wouldn't bother them at all, but I'm just trying to be helpful. Actually, this one could go down more. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of like torn about, I shouldn't say I'm torn, that makes it sound so emotional, but it just sort of depends on the drawing, like which one I'm going to choose, like which way I'm going to choose to do it. I actually think it's kind of fun when you have a character who's drawn like pretty realistically, and then you just have like a pattern on their clothing that doesn't contour at all. I think it's interesting looking. I had a character in my webcomic who had that going on, and people were like, no! They didn't like it. So I don't know when I'll do that again. Okay, so this is where the fabric... Whoa, why did it do that? That's kind of weird. So right here is where the fabric would meet, like the seam of the clothing. So now what's going to happen is the stripes are going to change a little bit. Let me just quickly... Oh my goodness. This is what I mean when I say you're going to have to fix it a little bit. You're going to have like weird things that the brush can't do all on its own. Oh wow, I'm lagging a lot, aren't I? Okay. So where the sleeves connect, these kind of look like pajamas a little bit. Where the sleeves connect, the stripes are going to run perpendicular, yeah, to these stripes. So let's see here. So they're going to run like this way. Wow, no, no, stop, stop. Sorry, I'm kind of getting into fluff territory here. I'm like spending way too much time on these stripes. I'm hypnotized by their stripiness. Okay. Alright, that looks pretty good. AKA, y'all gonna have to deal with it. Okay, so then what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch back to my other brush. And all you're gonna do is just come in and make sure everything follows like the smaller contour. Wow, this thing is like lagging super bad right now. I'm not sure why. So like right here, this would be contoured a little bit. One moment, I'm going to stop and start my recording just to see if that helps with the lag a little bit. Okay, BRB. Okay, and we're back. Sorry about that. I think it's fixed itself or something. Yeah, it's a lot better. Okay. That happens sometimes when the videos start to get really long. I have to sort of stop and start. Just make sure my computer doesn't explode. Okay, so we're gonna have some contouring here that you're gonna have to make sure that you're accounting for. So like right here, I've got some little wrinkles that I decided, I guess, that I wanted there. So you're going to have to contour this against the wrinkle. So same thing here, there's going to be a little bit of an arc. And then it's going to come down from the arc. See, this is kind of like a game. It's like a little bit of a puzzle that you got to sort of figure out. Isn't this fun, guys? I mean, we hate wrinkles. After a while, it becomes second nature and you start figuring all this stuff out. Sorry about all the noise. I think my neighbors are moving out. there. So now all you have to do is erase where you don't need stuff. In a very sloppy manner. So yeah, there's a little tip for doing that. What's this? Oh, it's the clothing. Okay. So I guess we should probably not have it be pink. Let's take it into a blue. Turn the saturation now. Let's darken that. Yeah, it kind of looks like prison striping. I think the bars on prison striping are a little thicker than this, to be honest. And I can probably contour this a little better, like right in here. And I think there would actually be like 2 stripes. Or something to that nature, anyway. Something to that effect, I should say. Let's do his hair, just for the hell of it, since I restarted the recording and now I don't have lag. He's actually got blonde hair, but I guess gray is my chosen color right now, so... Cool, I think that looks good. Alright, let's crop this back down. I like to work on really big canvas and then just sort of resize it, you know what I mean? Like just crop it back to the size I like or need or what have you. So clothing can be all on the same layer as that. Let's turn this down a little bit. And let's go completely light on this and put this in its own group, and you can't even see what I'm doing, and I'm just sort of talking now. Okay, so this is what we've corrected. This is what it was. So I think we've made some improvements on it. Mostly the face, I think, really had a lot of work done on it. Sorry the hair is kind of messed up. I was just sort of goofing around a little bit. And I also hope the striping thing sort of helps you out a little bit. I had to admit, I kind of phoned it in near the end a little bit just because I'm not feeling too good. And the handcuffs are atrocious. I would recommend looking up a reference to get a better idea. That's kind of in the ballpark of what you want to be doing. You don't want the chains to be hanging down unless they're shackles, and even then you want them to curve towards each other a little more. So, because these ones just kind of go straight down. Anywho, yeah, sorry I got a little silent because I was just thinking. Anyway, I think that'll do it for this episode, and yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye!